Today is day 2, and we're going to peel back a little bit of a skin layer, have a deep conversation about this. What's the deal, gang? Welcome back to another YouTube video. If you guys are new here and you're currently unsubscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you guys can follow me on this Project Journey Challenge, the challenge where I post 30 YouTube videos in 30 straight days. Today is day 2, and we're going to peel back a little bit of a skin layer, have a deep conversation about the 3 healthiest habits that changed my life. Let's get into habit number 1. So the first healthy habit that I implemented into my life that might be the most important on this list is designating time every single day to do something that makes you happy or brings you some sort of happiness, whatever. For me, that's video creation and, brainstorming content ideas, or something athletic like going to the gym and hooping and, working out. But when you take the time in your day every day to forcefully do something that makes you happy, you gain a little bit more control over your life. You gain a little bit more control over your environment. I feel like we all have to go through that period of our day, where we do something that's like out of our control. We got to work a 9 to 5 because the 9 to 5 pays our bills, and that's how we live our life, which is fine, to each his own. But when you take control and say, look, between 6 and 8, that's my time to work on a hobby or a skill set, or learn something, or do something that brings you happy. You're ultimately saying that I'm important too, and my life is important. The things that I enjoy is important. My happiness is important, for God's sake. So that's probably one of the first and most important healthy habits that I implemented into my life that actually changed my outlook on everything I do, because now I spend a lot of my days doing what I love doing, and that all started with that implementation of doing something that makes me happy every single day. And that was a skill set of mine that turned into a job. The second healthy habit that actually changed my life for the better emotionally was understanding the concept of release without judgment, or releasing how you feel emotionally without the fear of judgment coming from the person you told, or the things that you write down, or how you feel in general. I journal a lot. For me, that's a healthy way for me to release how I feel, release my trauma, my early morning thoughts, my late night thoughts, all the things that bother me without the fear of judgment. Like, my paper can't judge me at all. But if you have that one partner or that group of friends who you guys can sit down and have that real cloth talk conversation about, things going on in your life, or the trauma that you're experiencing, whatever the case may be, without the fear of them judging you, that's important. A lot of people have trust problems or trust issues because they have a lot of things in harboring, but they don't have anybody they can really release that to without them judging how they feel, or trying to invalidate their feelings, or whatever the case may be. So a habit that I implemented into my life that I feel like you guys should too is the habit of releasing without judgment, releasing without the fear of judgment. Journal, write down how you feel. If you're into music, write a song, you feel me? If you rap, write some bars or something like that. But that's a healthy habit of mine that I feel like everyone should adapt to. A lot of people would resort to therapy and whatnot, which is to each his own. Everyone has their own personal way to deal with their own personal traumas or emotional traumas. But for me, journaling is the best way to release without judgment, because you don't get a response back. You get to put your efforts into the things you say on paper without them, bouncing back at you. That's one of the healthiest habits that I adapted to maybe 4 years ago, and I've never looked back from it. The third healthy habit that changed my life for the better. This might actually correspond with the first two depending on how you shape it, but it's equally as important. It's implementing alone time. When I was away in college for 4 years and spent 2 additional years by myself in 2 other states, I came to terms that I really enjoy my time by myself, because it allowed me to really be at peace with who I am, and my flaws, and my perspective thinking, and just experiences. You get to experience life at your own pace, and no one can take those experiences away from you. That's why I feel like alone time is just as important. I'm not saying if you have a partner, you just isolate yourself. I'm not saying that you run off and, be alone for the rest of your life. Just implementing proper alone time is just as important as implementing time spent with your partner, because not only do you need a relationship with yourself, but you also need a relationship with other people. You don't want to have autophobia, which is ultimately the fear of being alone. But at the end of the day, you really want to enjoy your own peace, your own happiness, and your own experiences. I feel like that changed me as a person, because I got to really, really see life through my own lens. I didn't have anyone persuading the way I think, or persuading the way certain experiences took place, because that's troublesome when you think about it in the long term. But ultimately, alone time is just as important. Again, so the 3 healthy habits I discussed today that changed my life for the better. The first one being implementing a time of happiness for yourself at least once a day. The second one being the freedom to release and express yourself without judgment. And the third, alone time. If this is something that you guys just enjoy this simple, casual conversation, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, turn post notifications on, because for the next 29 days, I will be posting YouTube videos on certain topics, some like this, some a little more casual, some a little more cinematic, but ultimately 30 straight days of, as always, I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. I'm gone.